welcome to part 1 of not only Doki Doki Literature Club, but also the first day of our Valentine's Day special. Happy early Valentine's Day, by the way. I've never played this game. Well, I played like the first half hour yesterday, and then I don't know what the full game is. I watched about 1 to 2 episodes of the Game Grumps playthrough, and that was about it. So I have no idea what I'm getting into. But, you know, I'm all for new experiences, so let's just get started. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this. Starting around high school, she would oversleep it more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking of ignoring me. That's mean, Mouse. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Even if you were adorable. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have any need to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Mouse, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already. I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills for college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET. NEET? In a few years, because you're not used to the real world. What is that word? I'm curious and I'm looking it up. EET. Not in education, employment, or training. A name for people aged 16 to 24 who have finished their education and are unemployed. Is that true? Internet slang. Yeah, that's what it means. We learned something today. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look for a few clubs, if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit. Even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday that I would bring a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. Darn you, Sayori, and your weirdly tiny hands. Look at her hands, they're so small. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake. Okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I would do the same. My favorite are red velvet. Comment down below what your favorite cupcake is. I would like to know very much. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Oh, Mouse. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. They're all adorable. And I love how the girl on the far left, her eyes don't match her hair, but the other two, they do. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. They are very cute. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Oh, you're Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year, or she's just incredibly short. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Sayori's eyes don't match her hair either. It's so weird that they would do that for two of the girls, but not the other ones. It bothers me for some reason. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. I love her. Yuri is now my favorite. She's so adorable. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. Hello, Monica. Very nice to meet you. I really like the... All of them have random little hair accessories, I noticed. These two have bows, and the other two have, like, hair clips. Although Natsuki also has, like, thin bows or something. It's great to see you again, Mouse. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Mouse. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Yeah, see? Where's my mouse? She has a bow. Monica has a bow. Natsuki has this clip. I'm pretty sure Yuri also has one. And then Natsuki also has these little things holding up her hair. There's a lot of red going on here, I've noticed so far. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Please, Yuri. God, she's so beautiful. I love you. I'm a simp. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabbed a wrapped tray and Yuri opened the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh my god, that sounds amazing! I want little cat cupcakes. Oh, I should get into baking. My baking art begins with Doki Doki Literature Club. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full, and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, going for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. She's a tsundere. Okay then. Nice to know. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you. You know. You. Dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean that... You know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises a brow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the other major clubs. Weren't you leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Mike really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And then, I'm surprised there aren't any more people in this club. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. It's different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Mouse, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Mitsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Please don't be sad, my love. Please, I can't bear to see you sad. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantages of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp at something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, you might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Or the Rock, Mr. Dwayne Johnson. That was lame. Sorry. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, what is that? Well, I just... Natsuki's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind at the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Saori settles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have any experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Oh, I don't think she's at that level of confidence yet, Monica. I guess it's the same for Yuri, yeah. Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Mouse? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join the club. Saori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought while they're all looking at me. Oh my god, they're so sad. I don't like this anymore. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Mouse... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. We're not a perv, are we? I'd be very upset if we did end up being that way. Right. Okay. I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Oh, hello there. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Saori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks. I guess. Monica, you're getting your hair all up in Natsuki's face. You trying to make her eat it? Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. And you remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Mouse, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Mouse, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure. Might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer with one of the girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will come. And I guess I start writing a poem tonight. Ooh. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. We're aiming for Yuri. So let's go for aura, fear, journey, anxiety, misfortune, dark, atone, existence, massacre, whatever this word is, shame, death, determination, empty, imagination, analysis, philosophy, unstable, frightening, and misery. That should be good, right? Hi again, Mouse. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Mouse. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst in literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me he didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ooh, manga collection. I want to see that. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plopped back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Mouse always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. I can relate. My room is messy right now. I need to clean it once I'm finished with this. Well, it's late. I'll clean it tomorrow. And you almost set your house on fire once. Whoa, that was a weird sentence to get back to. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? Might be a little jealous. Jealous? Of moi? How come? You and Mouse can become good friends too. Sayori. Sayori, you're killing the vibe, man. You're ruining the mood right now. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Eh? Me? You got me a gift? Oh my god, I love you. Look at your cute face. Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sorry made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Ugh. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you was a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention. If you don't usually read, you call me slow. I know I have a short attention span. You don't need to point it out. You don't need to point it out. It just falls to the floor and just starts crying right in front of them. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Look at the way she plays with her hair. God, I love her. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. Yes, talk to her. But at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the exact same book she just lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she knows me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and her eyes meet for a split second. But it only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. It's not obvious to me. I'm actually quite confused right now. Why is it weird if she... I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. I wonder if that's an actual book. Okay, so I went like through a little deep web search because I got curious. But I learned that apparently Yuri is a dandere, which is just like a quiet person that doesn't show much emotion. Yeah, I didn't spoil anything for myself. I saw that and I was curious because Natsuki so far, as I have learned, is a tsundere, so I'm just curious. I'm curious of what the other girls are as well now. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her friend relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? You already made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Mouse? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they can believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to that protagonist, they may have to be naive for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villainous parts. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I actually really enjoyed your little rambles. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. This is like when I ramble to my friend. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slept in the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I side my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kinda difficult to turn the page. Here. Oh my god, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way. Turn her page, and Yuri slides under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're hardly even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. She's in the corner of my vision, while she's looking at me. Are you ready? To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Mouse... that's probably... a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, this is so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then send it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before. Well, not everyone's ready. When do you go find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically put out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet, a loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Obviously Yuri. I aim to make it more for her than for everybody else. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then it's becoming her whole face. Oh, he's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Eh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style that's separate, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stamina is completely gone. She sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes from practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. And that's so you can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstand the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I like that. Why do you look sad? What happened? I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? Wait, what? Your handwriting was beautiful. I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you so long to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Mouse. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you didn't really glance over it after all. Remember that poets often expresses their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story, or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more soul in putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I'll probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Mouse. Me too. Let's show the poem to Sayori. This is a good poem, Mouse. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who will be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Mouse. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. And that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes, or asking me to come out and play, or trusting me to wish away a rainy day. I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Okay. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or, how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Natsuki. Mouse, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still this proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. And that's about it. Simple. I like it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people didn't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. They expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah. Guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Monica. Hey, Mouse. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better? I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? Kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Mouse. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's the sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I handed Monica my poem. Great job, Mouse. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes the kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of energy and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years to practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to keep the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of style, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to, right? It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. If only you knew, Monica. If only you knew. Haha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I want to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. Noisy neighbor. Angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. Peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. A real, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. Just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Ooh. Deep. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems are putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. Not the way I read it, Monica. Not the way I read it. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. You try so hard to make it perfect, and you never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something done on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oof. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Zora and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Atsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Atsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Atsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clear about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks. But it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Mouse did too. Don't bring me into this. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Mouse liked my poem too. You know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Atsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... Oh. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Mouse appreciates my advice more than you appreciated yours. Huh? And how did you know you appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Mouse started showing up. What? Excuse me? Yuri's a bra stuffer? Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Oh, suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Mouse. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the writer, not force them out to figure them out. Let me explain that to her, Mouse. Wait. There's a reason we have so much deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Mouse? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I have no idea, but I do not like it. It's not like I know anything about writing. Whomever I agree with probably think more highly of me. Oh no. This is probably a douche move, but we're gonna leave this on a cliffhanger. It's late. I'm tired. I can't keep going with the voice acting and things. I need a break. But yeah, this is definitely interesting so far. I'm really enjoying this. All the girls are cute. There's just weird clowny music playing in my ears for some reason. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what your favorite cupcake flavor is. Mine is red velvet, as I've said earlier. Happy early Valentine's Day, and let's go ahead and run the outro.